Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going on a bit of a journey to explore the hidden mechanics of our modern world. We flip switches, plug in our devices, and we just expect everything to turn on, right? But right now, we are going to look under the hood of reality to understand the exact science that makes literally all of it possible. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the magic of electricity. So how exactly does a spinning magnet turn into the electricity that's running through your walls right now? Think about the sheer magic of that concept for a second. Somewhere out there, maybe miles and miles away from your house, a massive magnet is spinning. And here's the crazy part. There is absolutely no physical wire directly touching that moving magnet. None at all. Yet just because of that spinning object, an electrical current flows through miles of grid infrastructure right into your home and powers the very screen you're looking at right now. How is that even possible? Which brings us right to Section 2. What actually is Faraday's law? Okay. Let's dive into this. At its core, Faraday's law states that a changing magnetic field through a coil induces an electromotive force, or, voltage, in that coil. The rule here is incredibly direct. When you introduce a change to the magnetic field around a coil of wire, it creates voltage. And there's a crucial relationship of scale here, too. The faster this magnetic field changes, the greater the induced voltage is going to be. Moving on to Section 3, the secret is change. I want you to try and build a little visual framework in your mind right now. Just picture a magnetic field as a series of invisible lines. Got it? Now, imagine those lines passing right through a loop of copper wire. Now, here is the catch. As long as the number of those invisible lines passing through that loop stays perfectly constant, absolutely nothing happens electrically. The wire is just a wire, sitting there doing exactly nothing. So the absolutely crucial point is that you have to disrupt that constancy. You've got to make the wire kind of notice a change to generate voltage in response. And there are basically 3 specific actions you can take to make this happen. Number 1, you can physically move the magnet closer to or further away from the loop. Number 2, you can actually change the strength of the magnet itself. Or number 3, you can change the angle of the wire loop, physically spinning it so it slices through the field differently. If you do any of these 3 things, the wire notices the disruption in those invisible lines, and boom, it essentially wakes up and generates voltage in response. It's almost like the wire is reacting to the stress of its environment changing. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast it shows. Constant magnetic lines versus changing magnetic lines. This right here is the ultimate takeaway of Faraday's law. No motion or no change means absolutely zero induced electricity. I honestly don't care how massive or how incredibly strong your magnet is. You could have a magnet the size of Jupiter sitting perfectly still next to a coil, and you would get absolutely nothing. But the moment you introduce changing magnetic lines, you create voltage. The secret, quite literally, is change. It's just a profound thought that the very energy running our entire modern civilization requires constant motion and disruption at the atomic level. All right, let's look at the big picture in Section 4, powering the modern world. Just take a second to consider the sheer scale of this single scientific law. Michael Faraday discovered this principle way back in 1831, using just a simple iron ring and some wire. And today, it's the working principle behind virtually every power station on the planet. It doesn't matter if a power plant is driven by burning coal or gas, the powerful flow of water through a massive dam, the blowing wind, or even a high-tech nuclear reaction. The underlying mechanism is exactly the same. Turbines spin massive magnets near giant coils of wire to generate our electricity. And it goes way beyond just giant power plants, too. This exact same principle of a changing magnetic field is how transformers step voltage up and down across the electrical grid. It's even how your wireless phone charger transfers energy into your battery without a physical plug. We literally live our entire lives inside Faraday's invisible fields. But let's ground this massive global scale into something a bit more relatable, an everyday application. Think about a bicycle dynamo. If you've ever used one to power a light on a bike, you have literally held this very principle in the palm of your hand. In a bicycle dynamo, the simple, everyday act of spinning the bike wheel physically rotates a small magnet past a coil of wire. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact momentum of the law we've been talking about. You pedal faster, and the magnetic field changes more quickly, producing higher voltage. The physical effort of your legs speeds up the rotation of the magnet. That quickening magnetic field change directly increases the voltage, which perfectly explains exactly why your bike light gets so much brighter the faster you ride. Your muscular energy is quite literally being translated into light through invisible magnetic lines. It's just amazing. So we've seen how Faraday's law beautifully explains that a change in a magnetic field induces a current. Whether we're talking about a massive nuclear turbine or a tiny little bike wheel dynamo, change equals voltage. But that leaves us with one massive lingering mystery. When that current is induced, which direction does it actually flow? I'm going to leave you with that cliffhanger to ponder, because answering that question requires a whole new set of rules known as Lenz's law, which we will uncover in our next explainer. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and keep asking questions.